We are here in Budapest at the Spatial Sound Institute. At the Institute we research and develop projects that explore spatial sound as a medium. The relationship between sound and space is basically as old as the world, but at the same time it's a very new and emerging field that we are only just starting to understand. So a lab like this enables young creators that come from all over the world to explore what is the language of spatial sound and to contribute to its development.
It is really about the perceptual and aesthetic and even social possibilities of free space. Specifically, I think this blending of virtual and real acoustics is quite interesting. What we have with the software at 4D Sound is a variety of parameters for simulating acoustics, a physical room with a three-dimensional grid of speakers to further explore the room itself, and the combination of these can at times be almost holographic.
To singer-songwriters and techno sets, and this system here is really capable of implementing and allowing for all the original instruments of the performers.
It's really, I think, a community thing, because when you are experiencing a spatial sound piece and you're made aware of the medium of air which connects everybody else in the room and your position in relation to everyone else and to the space, to the architecture and the air, it's really a social experience.
If you enter the 4D Sound system, you listen to a kind of natural environment of sound, where sounds can be anywhere, where space can be confined and small or large and vast. What I had in mind was to create the system very experiential, to focus on what does it mean when someone wants to make music with space.
End of summer last year, a booking reached me. There was just one sentence which said, "You're also going to play on a 4D system. You might need to hear it to understand what it's like." I went to the guys and heard the system, and about after 2 minutes I was hooked. I knew, okay, this is something really special, really forward-thinking.
With this spatial sound setup, we create a screen that has infinite dimensions. So sound can be anywhere. It can be inside the room. The sound can be in between us. It can move far out of the room. It's basically like an unlimited space that you can sculpt with in terms of sound.
For the Spatial Sound Hack Lab, we invited about 25 participants from all over the world to bring in their ideas and try out new stuff on the system.
We did a quartet. I played the bass sounds. One person was a spatial conductor, and the third guy was playing sine wave tones, and one guy was playing modular synthesizer.
We tried to manipulate the cube of sounds, so shrink it, so people would stand outside the cube, and then we would enlarge the cube again, so people would fall into the cube in the sound. You can not only orientate in space by looking where the walls are, but also by hearing where walls are.
So we opened up the system to these folks for 2 days. Some of them are researchers, some of them have extensive background in spatial audio. They've worked with other spatial audio systems. Some of them have done doctoral dissertations on spatial audio. Some of them have more of a background as musicians. They're DJs, singers, cello players. And a lot of them are a combination. They're web coders and musicians. They're DJs and programmers. Those people covered all of those intersections of skills, and they also worked with each other, so they combined complementary skills and formed sort of super teams of collective knowledge to tackle these problems.
For 4D Sound to open up to this community of creative makers and coders and hackers, it was a sort of continuation for us after our collaboration with Peter Kern and Paul Oman for 4D Sound. This is a nice second step to help them out in the project within the ADE context.
We're working on Pong.
Pong's the table tennis game, but we're going to do it with sounds and 2 location trackers.
Flat paddles on a
Flat
screen.
paddles on the screen, you'll be able to hear them in the 3D space.
Yeah. So the ball is just sound that will move through the room, and then people can move with the paddles, and the sound should bounce off them and hit and bounce off the walls, just like the ball would.
And then use these 2 UbiSense controllers to basically work out where people are in the space and hit it back to your opponent.
Like an X shape, for example, where you have 2 field recordings, and if you're on one side of the space, it's below, one is below you and the other's above you. And then as you walk, they start to blend and then create a completely different sort of experience on the other side.
And we try to incorporate vocals and rhythms into that concept.
The price of the stock are simply the frequency of the sine waves. You hear the stocks come to life in a sonic form.
You could have a 3-dimensional way of controlling things. So, for example, with virtual reality or different feedback kind of system. So that's an area that we're looking into, making a sequencer, for example, that you could play with your body. What if you could grab a sound and move it around, or these kind of things? That's certainly something that we